G'day YouTube, my name's Lance and welcome to Bundy Bears Shed. Well, the weather report. He had a couple of days of showers, which was, got a bit cold, but look, the temperatures are lovely at the moment. It's even though we're in winter, well, we're still in shorts and thongs, and yesterday in Bundy Bears Shed here it was that hot that I was just down to wearing my singlet. It was lovely warm day with no breeze coming through the shed or anything that was cooling us down, so so it has been lovely. Yet earlier in the week up in our entertaining area, our pool room we call it, I had the fireplace going, so we had our visitors from Sydney for my mum and dad's wedding anniversary, and they stayed all week and they just went home Friday, but they got up to Lake Mondrian or Fred Hay Dam, which is nearest in Bundaberg here, and did a bit of fishing. And the dam's got the world record barramundi caught in it. A couple of fellas from Mackay caught it, I believe, in a kayak. And so they went up to do a bit of fishing, and we left the boat out overnight so they could hook up easily. And the next day the battery was buggered, so we had to put a new battery in the boat for them. And off they went, and then they got up there and they reckon they couldn't start it, but all it is when there's a safety thing, so when you go from forward to reverse, it's a tiller steer, and go from forward to neutral, you've got to make sure it's in neutral properly, and I think they were just getting it back and not right in neutral, because when they got home they put it in neutral properly and away it went, so we can't fold it. I've tried since and it seems good, so I think maybe a bit of operator error, but on the sounder in the boat, it's got down imaging, and there was some bloody big barra down there at 36.4 metres. You can see a little cluster of barramundi, and there was one that, look, it was way over a metre, well over a metre long, and you could see other fish around it, and the other fish around it, they reckon are probably 800 mil, something like that. So that's a bit over 2 foot, the little ones. And about a yard, a bit better than a yard long. The others, so anyway, they dropped baits and did everything, but couldn't bring one to the surface. So, but they're there, and that's something I'd like to have a crack at and get to know it a little bit, and go up there and have a couple of Sundays putt around and get to know the area a bit. So it's only 70 kilometres from here, so not far. So it's worth chucking the boat on and scooting up. So that might be on the cards. We'll just see how we go. I seem to be very time poor at the moment, so that's how it is. But we haven't had much shed time at all. We've had visitors, like I said, and yeah, look, we've just been hanging with them, and family lunches or family dinners of an evening at mum and dad's. Well, the whole family was there, and yeah, Thursday night we always have a little granddaughter, and Judy takes her to swimming lessons because it's important to have them swimming young. And so by the time we've had our visitors and that, well, yeah, I got up the shed yesterday morning for a little while, and that was it. So no great progress on anything, but I'm doing some videos on a Ferguson tractor, and that's what this stuff is here. It's on a Ferguson TE20 we're restoring, and I'm just doing bit by bit on as I go with it. And it does two things. It gives me content for the channel, and it actually gets my project finished. So so we're doing the PTO on that. That's what all this stuff's about. And I've had to, well, I've got the back end of the tractor. I've got the engine off, and the engine's pretty well done. The engine's been done for a long time, but we're slowly working through the parts on the tractor and doing videos, because I realised that when I look for videos on doing something on a Ferguson tractor, a little TE20, like they're world-renowned little tractors. Like Harry Ferguson had a shake hand deal with Henry Ford, and they made them in England, or sorry, in America, as the Ford Fergie for many years before they could make them in England, because of the war actually. So they made about 520,000 of these tractors, and many of them are still up and racing, and they're very popular. Well, a popular little tractor to take to a show or something like that, if that's your interest. So, and my mate Malk, the internationally renowned Malcolm from Lincoln. Mel, there's a feather in your cap, Mel. Yeah, he has a Nuffield because he didn't want a Fergie because they're like bums. Everyone had one, but yeah, he's had a bit of trouble lately and with his Nuffield. And thanks, Malk. I got a little present in the mail from you the other day, and I haven't advertised it, but part of it was a book on one of the shows, like a program for one of the shows, and even though England's a small country, their just standard old tractor shows are way bigger than ours in Australia. So that was an interesting read, and another little bit of stuff he gave me that I wasn't advertising it, but it's very nice. Thanks, Mel. I'll get even with you yet. So hang on to your hat. But yeah, well, back to the Fergie. When I look at the videos on how to do this and that on a Fergie, there is just very little out there. There's just nothing. And sometimes if I'm doing a video on, say, a PTO seal, I'm changing a PTO seal on a Ferguson tractor, well, I'll have a tootle through YouTube and just see what's around and get a bit of inspiration from it. You think, yeah, well, yeah, they presented that well, or they did this, or they did that, or I'd forgot to tell people about that, or something like that. So I'm just surprised at the lack of information out there on some subjects. But everyone you talk to, they say, when you talk about YouTube, they say, oh yeah, I jump on there. If anyone wants to know how to do anything, jump on YouTube, and that's the thing. But I'm surprised at the lack of information on these little grey Fergies. So anyway, hopefully the clips will be popular when we put them out there, and there's a few out there already, but we're continuing on with that. There's also some misinformation. One bloke the other night he was drilling through a bearing. He drilled through the casting to put a grease nipple in, which you don't need, and then he couldn't drill through the bearing. It was too hard, so he had a carbide tip or something. He drilled through the bearing. So anyway, I thought, well, we've got some. If you're going to put information out, do it to the best of your ability, which was what this bloke was doing, but it was just wrong. So anyway, not to worry. We'll work away with that. Where the PTO seal runs, this is a housing I've done for the video so far, and where the seal runs, they get quite worn, and that's the one that come out of the tractor we're doing, and that's another shaft I had. You can see the wear on the seal surface of that. It's just incredible. So I haven't been able to buy these for a long time, so I have a plan of making some. I may do that this morning, and but since I've got onto a part number and I've chased some up, and I have found some genuine ones. I've found 5 of them, and we've been asked over the counter at work for them for ages. So I bought 4 of the 5. I left one there for some other poor bugger, but I'm going to make them and just give that a go. So pardon me, still a bit croaky. The only purchase this week was a little Morse taper 2 adapter for an ER32 collet. Now, the idea of this is, on my rotary table I have a 4-jaw chuck that I've mounted years ago, and I made a backing plate, and I've put a probably 6-inch 4-jaw chuck on it, and look, the 4-jaw chuck's pretty good. You can dial things in perfectly, so you get absolutely zero run out, and you can turn around. You can get it pretty good, but the centre of the rotary table has a number 2 Morse taper in it. So with my little engine that I'm still waiting on that bloody collet chuck. I got a 5C collet chuck I ordered from America, and it's just gone missing. So we're talking to the people about it anyway. So no progress on the little engine at the moment, but with the little engine, what the plan was with this was, pardon me, to hold some of the smaller parts. I could take the 4-jaw chuck off the rotary table and drop this down the centre, and I could hold some really small items and just do little jobs on them. So I haven't checked it for run out or anything. It's a cheaper one. Look, I've been having a good run out of the cheap stuff. I think my ER40, one of my collets on that is just out of whack a little bit, I believe, but it's not much. But I haven't measured it yet, but I think it is. But we'll just have to see. Yeah, we'll work around it. But yeah, so that's the only purchase for the week. The I'm not sure whether I mentioned it on the Bundy Bears Shed. When you go to the YouTube page, there's I used to just have it green with Bundy Bears Shed written there. Well, a bloke in town's done like a brushed metal logo with Bundy Bears Shed and a couple of twirly bits on the outside. I couldn't quite get that right, so I asked him to do that, and he did that for me. And so there's a new heading there, and then I've also, even though I still wanted the stencil logo sort of thing, so we can copy it easily, and yet I don't know, I just wasn't happy with the black and white, so I have been working on the logo, and look, I'm pretty happy with what I've come up with so far. I put it on YouTube Machinist, I think it was, and asked for an opinion, and I got a little micrometer at each end, and a couple of blokes said, well, you're just trying to be like A-bomb. Well, there's nothing about A-bomb. Have you ever tried to buy a photo of a micrometer? It's bloody hard. And when you're doing your logos, you actually have to buy a transparency logo. So you have to buy the logo with no background colour at all. It's just transparent, and you get the micrometer on it. And there's very, very few out there that are anywhere near decent. And because we have it on the bottom, on where the shed writing is, it's a black background. So it is just hard to find one that, if you got one with a big block on it, it covers other things up. So you have to buy a transparency for the channel. So I bought a transparency. Then that gives you the option to flip it, so you can flip it from one side to the other. Then another bloke got onto me because I'd flipped it. You could still see the little lock handle, and micrometers didn't have a lock handle on that side. But bloody hell, yeah, buddy, it's just with the Bundy Bears Shed logo, and I've changed, instead of the map of Queensland behind the tractor coming out, I've got the tractor breaking through the wall. Looks like it's an old logo I had when I owned a mechanical business, that little part of it, and it looks like the tractor's just burst through the wall. And there's an orange background, and then the micrometer part was just, look, it was two things, the micrometer. It was just the workshop part. We use the micrometers a lot in our job, and we do the machining. So just because someone has a micrometer on their logo doesn't mean they're copying off anyone else. It's just bullshit. It's just how it happens. Yeah. So nothing like, yeah. It was just I actually looked at putting a vernier on it because I had a vernier on the older logo, but I couldn't get a vernier in a transparency that was clear to put on the bottom of the logo. So on the end here, or even here, I might chuck one in there somewhere. I'll put a photo of their new logo and see what you think. I don't know, I haven't got a big enough following for t-shirts, but let us know. If you want them, we'll do them, but otherwise I probably haven't got a big enough following. We're only little pissing around in the shed here. And yeah, so we've changed that, and then where the Bundy Bears Shed, where there's just a video, there's this little round circle you'll see from Google Plus, and the new logo, even though it's nice and bright in there, it looks a bit squashed because they push it into a circle, and it has to be 80. Yeah, I think it's 80 pixels by 80 pixels. Might be 800 pixels, but and then they round it out. So there'll probably be a bit of work on that yet, just to tidy it up. But all in all, I think it's coming good. I'm enjoying the buggering around with it. The stencil, I've still been tagging things. I tagged the bloody garbage bin yesterday, Bundy Bears Shed. Bloody feel like a young bloke with a bloody knapsack full of pressure packs. But so look, we're moving on with that. But look, stay tuned for today. I think I'll do these. I'll film one of these for the morning, and won't take long. As long as I get the sizes right. Hey, that's easy as that. Just get the sizes right. Nothing to it. So, but that'll be it. There might be a bit of knocking this up at the end there, and we'll see how we go. So that might do for the week. I've got a light I'm working on. Still waiting on parts for that too. So anyway, see how we go. But that'll do. We'll catch you later, eh?